This is gonna be a long review. Gotta drink a lot of water so I don't lose my voice. What's up guys, Austin here from Airsoft Station, and today we are reviewing the Tokyo Marui AA-12 Sledgehammer. Now just fair warning here, I'm going to nerd out this entire video because this gun is absolutely amazing. The engineering behind this is incredible and it's truly the first of its kind. The reason I say that, and we're going to start with the externals, but I'm just going to give you a little teaser here, is because this is a tri-shot shotgun. However, it is electric. It's capable of semi and full auto, and it's just incredible. It's amazing. So let's start with the externals before we get into the internals. Externally, it's very bulky, very boxy. It's not the most streamlined looking gun. However, it definitely makes up for that with performance. It's got a very aggressive stippling up here on the front handguard. It's not uncomfortable. It just gives you a very good grip. Feels very nice on the hands. You feel like you got a good solid grip of it. The magazine has even more aggressive stippling yet, and this one is a little bit uncomfortable on the hand. It's perfectly fine for mag changes, but you wouldn't want to be holding onto this magazine for a long time. It would definitely aggravate your fingertips. But the handguard one, very comfortable, very nice to hold onto, but yet still very aggressive and gives you that good solid grip. The iron sights here are full metal here. The charging handle is plastic, as well as the sling mounts are plastic, but everything it mounts to, including those iron sights, are full metal. Now, as for the sling mounts, they are kind of annoying. They make a little bit of noise, they flop around, slightly annoying, but not the end of the world. And it's not the end of the world for two reasons. One, you're probably going to want to use a sling with this gun for two reasons. One, because if you have a sling on it, it's going to keep them up off the gun, and they're not going to be making that rattling noise. And two, although all the externals except for a few parts are polymer on this gun, it still weighs in at 9 pounds 2 ounces, which doesn't feel like a lot when you first pick it up, but if you're holding this gun for a long period of time, you're playing airsoft all day, you're clearing rooms, you're playing CQB, it's always in your arms are going to get a little bit tired holding this 10-pound gun all day long. So, what else do I want to talk about externally? I think that's just about it. Comes with a 93 round mid-cap magazine, which sounds decent, but I will tell you why it's kind of annoying here in a second. But they are coming out with an aftermarket drum mag. We'll talk about that later. So let's just get into it. I'm delaying it long enough. The internals on this gun are absolutely incredible. It's got 3 independent gearboxes, 3 independent hop-ups, and 3 independent barrels. Now, why is that cool? Because every time this gun cycles, it shoots 3 BBs, and it shoots 3 BBs accurately. It's not like you're sending 3 BBs out of the same barrel. It does so accurately, and it does so very impressively. Now, the way it does that is the one gearbox is about here, the other one is about here, and the other one's right here. And it's got a special, I'll pull up a picture right here, you can kind of see the layout of the gearboxes, and it's also got a very special cylinder coming out to 3 nozzles. I'll put a picture up as well of that too. So you can kind of see how this gun starts coming together. It's got a proprietary gearbox, obviously it's the first of its kind, and it also has a proprietary motor which powers all 3 of these gearboxes. Now, the gun shoots at about 250 FPS because this is Tokyo Marui. If you know anything about Tokyo Marui, they are the best of the best. For years and years and years, over and over and over and over again, they have been making the top of the line airsoft products, and this fits right into their sort of mojo. Just very cool, very innovative, and absolutely incredible. However, they still have to follow by Japan's regulations. They're a Japanese company, and therefore this gun only shoots at about 250 to 260 FPS. Now, you're not going to want to upgrade that because this is a CQB gun. This is not something you're going to take to the field. This is something you're going to clear rooms with. This is something you're going to breach doors with. This is something you're going to absolutely demolish a CQB field with. So you're not going to want that high FPS because The cyclic rate on this is about 11 to 12 cycles per second. The reason I say it's not rounds per second is because you have to keep in mind every time it cycles, it shoots 3 rounds of BB. So you're shooting about 33 to 36 BBs per second with this gun. And if you were to hit someone with any higher FPS than 260, they would probably leave. They would not want to play with you anymore. And I would be one of those people. If you shot me with 36 rounds at 400 FPS in 1 second, I'd be done. We are no longer playing. So, it shoots at about 250 FPS, as I said, and each of the hop-up systems can be controlled right here. They are labeled. I'll take a close-up shot of this, but you have the left, top, and right. Now, one thing to note that I've seen some other reviewers fail to mention is that the left and the right hop-ups are actually positioned sideways. So the top one puts on a standard hop-up, which puts that backwards spin on the BB and is going to allow it to go straighter or curve upward if you turn it up high enough. However, the left and the right curve that way. So the left one is going to put a left curve on the BB. The right barrel is going to put a right curve on the BB. So if you have the hop up downward, it's just going to go straight. Or if you have the hop up all the way down, it's just going to go straight. But the higher you turn the hop up, the wider of a spread you're going to get. Now that's helpful because you can decide, what sort of ranges you're going to be playing. If you're going to be taking some longer shots, say, 50 feet plus, you're probably going to want to leave the hop up relatively low. That way you get a tighter group and a bigger spread at a longer range. But if you are truly using this gun for what it's designed to do, and that is to breach doors and clear rooms, crank those hop-ups up, get a lot of spread going, and with one shot you can take out more than one person if that is what you are looking to do with this gun. The one downside of this gun is its magazine. It comes with a 93 round mid-cap magazine. Now why is that a downside? Because if you're shooting 36 rounds a second, in 2.5 seconds on full auto, you are empty and it's time to reload. Fully loaded magazine, 2.5 seconds on full auto, and you're done. You're changing mags, you're reloading. That is somewhat annoying. But Tokyo Marui has definitely come up with the fix for that. They have invented a 3,000 round auto-winding drum mag for this gun in particular. It is available overseas. It's not quite available here in the US, but it will be very soon. So if you do purchase this gun and decide, this magazine's so annoying, don't worry, the 3,000 round drum mag is coming very shortly and it looks so cool. I'll throw a picture up of that as well. That is approximately it for this gun. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take several different chrono readings after only loading one BB into the magazine, so you can see what the FPS is coming out of each independent barrel. But my chrono would go crazy if I shot all 3 BBs at a second because it just can't measure it. It would say it's like 700 FPS or something. And I can't unfortunately do a rate of fire test on this because I can't, do a rate of fire test with only one BB. It doesn't work. And if I had, 36 BBs coming out of this barrel, the chrono would just be like, what's happening? So I unfortunately can't do a rate of fire test, but just know it shoots at around 11 to 12 cycles per second with an 8.4. Speaking of which, that is what Tokyo Marui recommends to use. A 9.6 is just a little bit too high. It can work with this, but they say it puts a little too much strain on those 3 gearboxes. So an 8.4 nickel metal hydrate is definitely the best battery to use with this. A 7.4 LiPo you can also use with that, but again, it's just got a little bit too high of a current, putting a little bit too much stress and strain on that gearbox. You can use it if you'd like, but when you look at the price tag on this gun, you're probably going to want to do what the manufacturer recommends, and that is an 8.4. And you're still shooting 33 rounds a second with an 8.4. It's not the end of the world. So don't be that guy. Don't use a 9.6 in this. Don't destroy this beautiful gun. So, as I mentioned previously, I'm only loading one BB into the magazine, so it only comes out one barrel, so my chrono can accurately read it, but just keep in mind you are going to be shooting the same FPS out of all 3 barrels. It's sticking right around that 250 to 260 mark, which is exactly what you want for a CQB game. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, the electronic system on this gun. Very cool, very innovative. The battery is housed in the stock here. The way it works is these silver tabs on the stock here. They're on both sides. Just push one of those up and the whole butt plate pops right off. As I mentioned, the gearbox comes all the way to the back here, but you do have room on the bottom here to fit 8.4. Now, this is very cool. There is a MOSFET in here, but it's more than just a MOSFET. It actually reads your battery. So, if I were to plug in a 9.6 here, which I will do now, there's a little red LED light that pops up and it glows. What that says is, hey, you've got a little bit too much voltage here. And if I plug in the 8.4 here, this one is almost dead. It still will work, but it's running very low on juice. That LED blinks red. So, very cool little feature there. You unfortunately can't see it without taking the stock off, but you can see when you pop that stock off very easily just with that one tab how your battery is doing. And you also know when you first plug in a battery if it's going to be compatible with this gun. So the electronic system has a lot of safeguards in place to take care of itself, which is what you want on a gun. A gun that takes care of yourself, well, it doesn't sound much better than that. It also has an electronic trigger here. So when you're firing it, instead of burning up those trigger contacts oh so slowly, it's going to be using that MOSFET. All it does is the MOSFET, all the trigger does is act like a gate and says, hey, go ahead and send the electricity through to the MOSFET, so you're never actually getting your full voltage coming through your trigger, which just helps protect those trigger contacts and helps prevent stress and electrical strain on your gearbox for the long run. So this gun is definitely designed to last, it's definitely cool, and let's go shoot some stuff with it. So to show you the destruction that the AA-12 is capable of, here we have our cardboard box. It's about torso size, a little bit thinner. I've got a fully loaded 93 round mid cap in there. I'm going to take about 10 steps back and I'm going to unload full auto on this. Keep in mind it is only shooting 250 FPS and the cardboard is relatively thick here, so it's probably not going to puncture it, but hopefully you can see the amount of destruction that this gun is delivering to it. Alright, here we go. So I was pleasantly surprised that it actually did puncture it. I don't think I shot high enough for you to see the majority of it. Most of the damage is actually down here, but definitely would mess a person up, let's put it that way. Alright, so this is the unfortunate part of the review where I have to tell you guys that the review is over and I have to put this beautiful gun down. So, my parting thoughts on this is, I'm not sure if I'm just biased about this gun. I'm not even a big CQB player. I love playing stealthy, I love taking those longer shots out on field, but if I could afford this gun, I would totally buy it. Plain and simple, it's just absolutely incredible, it's absolutely amazing what it's capable of. So, buy this gun. It's so sweet, it's so cool, it looks cool, it feels cool, it shoots even cooler. Independent hop-ups right there. Simply push the charging handle forward to cover it back up. Magazine release is right here. It's not ambidextrous, but it is relatively easy to hit. I don't know what else to say about it. I just want to keep talking so I don't have to put the gun down. But that would be bad of me to do. So, that's it for this review. Any questions you have, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as quick as I can. And until the next one, have a good one, guys.